Morning. I'd like to call the March 14th Kankakee County Full Board meeting to order. Today's invocation is from Steve Hunter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Before I give the prayer, I just wanted to offer some strength and resilience and knowledge to Jim Rowe, who is in Springfield right now as we speak before the Supreme Court. We know that his presentation will be not based upon emotions but facts and raw data. So we offer him all of our prayers during his presentation today. This particular prayer which I offer is somewhat based upon the last county board meeting in which there was substantial hullabaloo. And the title of my particular prayer is Prayer for Unity. God of peace, we invite you to preside over this meeting, even if we have different opinions. Give us unity of spirit. Help us to each listen politely as others share their points of view. Help us to work as a unified team in combining ideas for a great outcome. Help us to work as a whole rather than individuals trying to promote their own agendas. May we have a spirit of camaraderie in this room and work together on our shared mission. Amen.
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 Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one God,
one nation,
indivisible,
under God,
liberty and justice for all. If we can get a roll call, please, to start with.
Mr. Hess. Present. Mr. Tholen. Mrs. Polk.
present,
Mr. Snipes. Present. Mr. Seroy. Mrs. Weber.
Present.
Mrs. Parker. Present. Mr. Fairfield. Present. Mr. Carrico. Present. Mr. Eckhoff. Present. Mr. Swanson. Mr. Featherling. Present. Mr. Donnell. Present. Mr. Miller. Present. Mr. Long. Present. Mr. Kirkstra. Present. Mr. Hunter. Present. Mr. Smith. Present. Mr. Alexander Hildebrand. Present. Ms. Foster. Present. Ms. Andrade. Present. Ms. Armour Earps. Mr. Ashcraft. Present. Ms. Monday. Present. Ms. Ripmanick Emmy. Present. Mr. Scanlon. Present. Ms. Turner. Present. Mr. Wheeler.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. If I could get a motion to allow, and this is an evergreen motion, until the situation changes for board member Weber and myself, who are going to be out zooming into meetings for the next foreseeable future, or excuse me, near future. Mr. Scanlon, Mr. Eckhoff, any comment? All those, Mr. Hunter, no? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. All righty, we don't have to do it at every meeting now. Thank you. Vacancy appointments, I don't have any there. We have a presentation today, something I'm looking forward to. It's from the Vice President and Kankakee site head. You know what, I apologize, Mr. Hunter, I forgot. You have a public comment. And yeah.
Can I have all the ladies, county board members, please stand? Would you please stand? I just want to make a very brief comment. You know, this month is National Women's History Month, and you may recall some time ago, I know the chairman made mention about this particular board being very diverse, et cetera. You know, the first Hispanic woman here, more women on the county board than in the past, I think. Godspeed to Dr. Polk and Carol, you know, for a speedy recovery. We do not have any wallflowers in terms of the women who are represented on this board. They're amazing contributors to the 107,000 people who inhabited this county. And I just wanted to say thank you, you know, for your service, and look forward to working with you for the duration of my term. Because you are substantial contributors to the services that are provided to our citizens in the county. And I think we owe you guys a round of applause.
Well said. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, any more public comment? That was the only slip I had here submitted in front of me. Alrighty, moving on. Now we get to hear a presentation from the Vice President and Kankakee Site Head of Operations, or for CSL Bearing, Mr. Abner Garcia. Please join us up here. Thank you.
Good morning. Chairman Wheeler, members of the Kankakee County Board, county officials, and residents of Kankakee County. Like Mr. Wheeler said, my name is Abner Garcia Delgado. I am the Vice President and the site head for CSL Bearing Kankakee. Thanks for this opportunity. We are here because this year our site is celebrating its 70th anniversary. So that's a really remarkable milestone for our global biotech company. And if we just look at our history, it just goes back to the 1800s. This site, we're part of a armor company that it was founded in Chicago during the 1800s. And we are proud of that long history. And at the same time, we are looking forward for many years to come. So we are especially grateful for the partnership that we have with the Kankakee County, Chairman Wheeler, members of the county board, and many county officials have always been great partnership with us and CSL. And your support has been helping us for our success in manufacturing for the life-saving medicines that we do. So we are grateful for the opportunity. We are grateful for the recognition that we are getting today to celebrate all those 70 years that we have been here. From the CSL perspective, our company has a long history as well. CSL has been in this business for more than 100 years. And we have at the same time a rich heritage. And today our future has been, never have been looked brighter. And we just want to say thank you. We have more than 1,500 employees on our side. So we just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I have a couple of slides that I want to share with you that show some of our history, so you can look at the screen. So if we ask who are we? Well, we are a biotech global company. We deliver medicines that are really, really important and life savings for our patients. And we are really interested on our patients. We are, of course, really interested on the public health and help people that they can just keep living even when they have some of the rare disease. So if we go to the next slide and I share some of our company worldwide, we have more than 30,000 employees globally. In terms of revenue, it's more than 12 billion. We serve patients for more than 100 countries around the world. And we have representation of operations in more than 40 countries. So CSL, we have 4 main businesses. We have, of course, CSL Bearing, which is the one that we are a member of here in Kankakee. We have CSL Plasma that we are happy to announce that next month we are just going to open the CSL Plasma Donation Center, which is going to be not only a good financial benefit for our employees, but it's going to be a good financial benefit as well for the donors of our communities. Then we have CSL Seqirus. CSL Seqirus, has been focused mainly on the vaccines technology, and there is a long history from the CSL perspective. The Spanish flu pandemics in the early 1900s, CSL was part of the solution for the world at that time, and we feel very proud about it, and we still have a big business from the vaccine perspective. And CSL Beeford is a company that we acquired recently, and they are mainly focused on the iron deficiency conditions of patients. So in our case in Kankakee, we are a member of the CSL Bearing. Bearing is the last name of one of the company's founder from Germany, and actually he won the Nobel Prize when the Nobel Prize was starting in the early 1900. If you look at the map, of course, we are here in Kankakee, and if we just look and talk about just CSL Bearing for a minute, about our presence around the world, we have a facility here in Kankakee. Is the only one in America for CSL Bearing. We got in Switzerland. We got representation in Australia, Germany, and in China. So, like I said, CSL Plasma is joining out our community here from the community perspective. And if I now can speak a little bit more about the specifics for Kankakee, we want to share this picture with you. So Armor became the country's largest supplier of blood fractionations, and then they came to this area in the 1950s. Something really important that Armor did for America and actually the whole world is that it was a big company and a big player fighting against polio, which at the early 1900s it was a big problem from the world. So if we go to the next slide, just to share more pictures, 1951, this is how does it look, the Kankakee facility. It was an investment of $14 million back in the 50s. And then in 1953, the facility was opened under the name of Armor Laboratories. Interesting facts, the Armor Laboratories, they won an award for architecture. It was featured in Life magazine. And during the 1990s, Ron Polang, they were owning the facility. This picture is very interesting. There was a landmark here, and probably most of you know about it. It was demolished back in 2015, and some of the bricks that we saved, we use it to construct a knee wall close to the patio on north, right? Close to the employee cafeteria. So something that I really like about our site, there is a lot of history, and we're just keeping that history. And everybody is being aware and very proud of the history that we have. If you look at this picture, this is just two examples comparing how the facility looked like and how it's looking right now. So the one in the left, it was basically the sterile area that we were just filling the material back then. And the one on the right, you can just see the state-of-the-art sterile filling operations now. And then the other one is just an example of the packaging process. This picture were the early leaders. If I go now to the next one, this is our current leaders. Some of them are in the back room, so I just want to publicly recognize them for their commitment, their dedication to our facility and to our community. So thanks for all of you that are representing our community here. There is a lot of history. I don't want to go to all the details, but what I wanted to point out here is that the facility has been numerous parent companies and mergers through many, many years. The last one is CSL that purchased the facility back in 2004. And like we said, there are more years to come, and our future is looking great. So if I go to the next one, just to share with some of you a picture of how the site looks like in the past and how it's looking right now, a big difference. And even if you can look, there's still a sign of shift paints and the wire fence. So anyway, a lot of evolution, a lot of changes in the company itself. So if we go now to what do we do? So we have like more than 140 acres and more than 40 buildings on site. So we are one of the biggest biotech sites in the whole world. So we should be, very proud about that. And from this particular business perspective, we have the process from end to end. We just go all the way from the fractionation, which is the first step of our manufacturing process, to bulk production, which is basically filtering the proteins that we are fractionating in the first step of the process, and then fill and finish, and then we have a quality control lab that we do testing, and we have scientists here that they do some research and development, not only for us here, but do research and development for the rest of the world. So if we go to the next one, this is just showing a summary of the products that we do. Semira and Alburex, we do that two products from end to end. Alburex is mainly albumin, and we use it especially when there are surgeries for patients, shock, burns, trauma. Those are just some of the examples. And then Semira is another product that we just use it for emphysema, that for very critical patient conditions. So both of them are coming from the human plasma. And now that we are opening the plasma center, that was the the first step of the whole process. So we have the whole CSL buried and CSL plasma here in our facility in Kankakee. If you look at the intermediate products, that's a really important fact from our facility. We ship intermediate products to the rest of the world. So if you remember, we said that we have manufacturing facilities, Switzerland, Germany, and Australia. We ship the raw materials from here, which we call it intermediates. And Kankakee represent like 60% of that global production. So really, really, big player in the whole world. And again, we should be really proud about what do we do here in Kankakee with our community members that work for us. So if we go to the next one, everything that we do is focused on our patients. This gentleman, he's gonna be finishing his bachelor degree. He started to use our products since he was a baby. Actually, last week when we were doing a meeting with our CEO and for the Plasma Donation Center in preparation for the grand opening, his mom was here with us, and she was, being grateful of what we have been doing. And she's really, really happy that she has, her kid alive more than 20 years ago, because he has been with these, products that we do here in Kankakee. So if we go to the community and the impact on our economy, actually our team was providing some interesting facts about our contribution. And I just want to read those bullet points that team shared with us. Kankakee County is a manufacturing hub, and CSL is a highlight of manufacturing in our entire area. In the past 2 years, Kankakee County has been ranked number 5 in the US in manufacturing for small population areas. There are 8,000 manufacturing positions in Kankakee County, and CSL will represent around 20% of all that population of manufacturing position. In 2018, CSL was the largest expansion announced in the state of Illinois with the purchase of the former Bungie property. CSL has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on upgrades to our facilities and ground for the last several years. And the people who work at CSL put money into the economy, as do visitors who come to CSL from all over the world. CSL investment, of course, has been helping our community here, and we are really, really proud to have that contribution to our community here in Kankakee. Another thing that we have been very active is on the community engagement. This is the latest number of our contributions to the community. We have been involved in fundraisings. At the same time, we haven't done donations to the local universities, to the high school, even we provided support and help to our police department, to the military. So really, really active with the community, which we are really, really proud to do that. And some of the donation and sponsorship has been with the Women United event, Women in Network event. We sponsored the BB High School robotic team. We have been in the Alzheimer Walk, Relay for Life. And right now we are really excited doing some partnership with the high schools from the community, with Bishop Mac, Hercher, BB, kind of like hosting a career day that they are visiting our facility. We are providing a tour for them, and then we have different professionals that they are talking about. What do they do? What does they look like? So kind of like helping our students to make a very important decision of what they're gonna do with their life, but then at the same time, letting them know that there is an opportunity to come back home after they do their bachelor degree or PhD, because there is an opportunity here in our backyard at the CSL facility. So our CEO, Paul McKenzie, he started in March 6th, and the first day of he being a CEO, he decided to come to Kankakee, just showing how important is our site to the CSL company. And it was a great day. So that picture, it's in the CSL plasma. It's beautiful. We have just with the employees, kind of like a ceremony to do a tour to the area and present it. So Paul was with us at the CSL plasma. He went to the manufacturing facility. He met with our scientists. And again, we were really, really honored that from all the places in the world that he could be, spending his first day as a CEO, he decided to come and share with us his time and his experience. So finally, I just want to close the presentation, kind of like communicating our commitment, of course, to the community, our commitment to deliver on our promise, which is to deliver these great medicines that our patients, they need them to live. Most of all, I hope that you can, see our passion of what we do, our commitment with our community here. I'm very proud every day to be the leader of this great company, and I'm very proud as well to be part of this, great community. So I joined CSL 3 years ago. Before I accepted the job, I did some house hunting just to meet the people, and I just fell in love with the people, and we have been, very, very happy. My family and myself, we live here in Bourbonnais. We go to the church here, my kids go to school here. We do our life here, and then we really, really, really enjoy. And one of the key, things that we kind of like help us decide to make the decision, it was, of course, the history for CSL, the history for the site, and just the community environment that we have over here. So thanks for the opportunity. And again, we have 70 years. We hope that we're going to have more than 70 years in the future.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So going into the next item, we do have a proclamation honoring the 70 years. So I was going to ask the Dan to, provide in his best dulcet tones to read the proclamation, if you could, sir, please.
Proclamation of the County Board of Kankakee County, Illinois, honoring CSL Behring for 70 years of saving lives through cutting-edge technologies in Kankakee County. Whereas CSL Behring has operated its manufacturing facility in the Kankakee region, driven by its promise to save lives using the latest technologies for 70 years, and has been a generational employer. And whereas CSL Behring's parent company, CSL, a leading global biotechnology company with a dynamic platform of life-saving medicines for patients in more than 100 countries. And whereas CSL Plasma, a CSL company, operates one of the world's largest and most sophisticated plasma collection networks throughout the United States, including in Illinois, where it operates 15 centers to collect plasma used for the sole purpose of manufacturing plasma-derived therapies. And whereas CSL Behring is opening its newest plasma collection center on the south campus of its Kankakee manufacturing site, thereby continuing to build on its presence in the Kankakee region. And whereas CSL, a global biotech leader that discovers, develops, and delivers innovative therapies so their patients can live life to the fullest, has recently launched Hemgenix, the first and only gene therapy for eligible adults with hemophilia B. Whereas CSL Behring has completed the largest expansion by an existing employer in the state of Illinois and employs 20% of Kankakee County's manufacturing positions with more than 1,500 employees. Whereas Kankakee County partnered with CSL to improve traffic flow by securing a permit for the new entrance and worked with state legislators and the governor's office to secure funding for the Armour Road project that will benefit CSL and the entire county for years to come. Now therefore be it resolved, Kankakee County proclaims March 2023 as CSL Behring Month in Kankakee County.
Is there a motion to approve? Starting off with Ms. Monday, Mr. Featherling with a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give you a plaque over here. I hope you find a nice home for this somewhere within the facility. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for everything you're doing. We'll probably let me get that. Back up here.
Thank you.
And thanks to your team for showing up too. We appreciate that. It's good seeing everybody. I have no control over the bridge. I can tell you that. I just want to mention that. We're the utilities and we're the road guys. That bridge is, boy, that's the railroad. Good luck there. Moving on. Certificates of appreciation. Make sure I've got these turned off. We have Eric Blair is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. 10 years of the assessor's office. I could talk for days on how lucky we are to have Eric working for us here. He's a leader in his profession statewide. So would you like to say anything up here, Eric?
Just thank you for the opportunity to serve the county and the community.
Well, basically, he says thanks for serving the county and the community. We have the finest piece of paper proclamation that money will buy for you over there. But I tell you what, it is appreciated. He usually knows the answers before we come down to ask the question. And if he doesn't know it, he can find out within 10 minutes. I'm telling you, he's remarkable. Moving on, Andrew Appel, Corrections. Anybody here? Colton McCabe from Corrections. Toby Fulford, Sheriff's Deputy, and Joe Powers, the Sheriff's Deputy. So thanks to all of you for your service. We appreciate it. Minutes of last meeting, February 14th. Is there a motion to approve there? Ms. Parker, Dr. Polk with a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Alrighty, motion carries. Claims Committee reports, please.
Mr. Chairman and members of the County Board, your Committee on County Claims would beg leave to report they have examined the following claims presented and recommend payment. The clerk is hereby authorized and directed to issue orders to the several claimants payable in the total amount of $7,076,819.87.
Thank you. As Finance Chairman, Mr. Eckhoff, would you make that motion? Thank you. As second on the claims, Mr. Featherling. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess. Aye. Mr. Tholen. Aye. Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes. Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield.
Aye.
Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter. Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand.
Aye.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft.
Aye.
Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. Alrighty, moving along, department reports.
County Collector's Monthly Report for January 2023. Total cash and bank and investments of $1,569,587.59. County Treasurer's Monthly Report for January 2023. First American Bank, the tax operating account, the ending balance is $1,493,360.09. The tax collection account at First American Bank, the ending balance is $337.85. The tax e-pay account at First American Bank, the ending balance is $75,889.65. Coroner's Monthly Report for January 2023, total calls 125, coroner's cases 26, autopsies 14, toxicology 16, 2 donations, 2 fetal, 58 hospice, 39 referrals, 78 cremations, 2 x-rays, 1 COVID-19, 9 pending. The coroner's income summary report for January 2023, total of $4,112.29. Circuit clerk cash book for month ending January 2023, total dispersed $252,807.85. County Recorder's Monthly Report for January 2023, disbursement fees paid to the County Treasurer of $112,619.99. County Clerk's Monthly Report for January 2023, total of $34,265.07. Monthly Building Division Report for January 2023, total permits of 30, total fees of $11,832. Animal Control Monthly Report for January 2023, total of $45,580.71. In the IPTIP Building Fund, $242.76. Total animals handled, 62. Monthly resolution list for March 2023, total to the county of $1,073.
Alrighty. Is there a motion to combine and approve on that?
Polk.
Dr. Polk, Mr. Smith with a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All righty, we have a prodigious consent agenda, so I'll give you a second there to look it over, see if there's anything you want to pull off and consider separately. Excuse me. Shaving. Wait. Shaving. Bitch. Alrighty, yes, sir.
We're taking these in sections, or you're gonna take them all collectively?
All collectively.
Okay,
It's the consent, that's what that means.
dealing with the operas, the funding.
No, the consent agenda.
Okay,
That's
well,
what
I
we're
just
talking
said
about right
the
now.
opera funding is here.
No, I said the consent agenda.
Okay, I'm just making sure. That's
Okay, second time? We gotta do a second time. Okay, Mr. Eckhoff with a motion to approve, Ms. Parker with a second. We can get those read in the record, please.
Hang on. The appointment of Susan M. Mosier to the Pilot Township Fire Protection District. The appointment of Stephen Sanders to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Judy Withef to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Jerry Wright to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Robert Voss to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Kevin Sanders to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Denise Sanders to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Drew Wright to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The appointment of Ginger Hendricks to the Pilot Center Cemetery Association. The reappointment of Christopher Curtis to the Will Kankakee Regional Development Authority. The reappointment of Tim Nugent to the Will Kankakee Regional Development Authority. The reappointment of Michael O'Brien to the Will Kankakee Regional Development Authority. Declaration and disposal of surplus equipment and vehicles for the Kankakee County Sheriff's Department. The amendment to Chapter 109, Floods and Stormwater Management, and Chapter 18, Fees to include fees for stormwater management. The agreement to approve decommissioning plan and bond in the amount of $279,348 for the Illini Solar LLC Solar Farm Project. Kankakee County Zoning Map Amendments 2023. The authority for the County Board Chairman to sign intergovernmental cooperation agreement between Kankakee County and Village of Bourbonnais for historic preservation program for Bourbonnais Grove Log Schoolhouse. Authorizing the Board Chairman to sign a road use agreement with NextAmp Solar for energy generation station on County Highway 22 in St. Anne and Aroma Township. Authorizing the Board Chairman to sign a road use agreement with GRNE for a sun-powered energy station on County Highway 30 in Rockville Township. Authorizing the Board Chairman to sign an engineering agreement with Willett, Hoffman and Associates and appropriate motor fuel tax funds to design bridge replacement on County Highway 41 in Essex Township. Resolution authorizing execution and amendment of Section 5311 grant agreement for fiscal year 2024. Resolution authorizing execution and agreement of downstate operating assistance grant agreement fiscal year 2024. Purchase of service agreement with Show Bus to operate the county's rural general public transportation service, state fiscal year 2024. Motor vehicle lease with Show Bus to provide transportation for Kankakee County.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Is there a motion to approve? Ms. Foster, a second? Mr. Miller?
Polk.
Would you like him to read that in the record again? I'm just kidding. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen. Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield.
Aye.
Mr. Kirko.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand.
Aye.
Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft.
Aye.
Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Ripmanick Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. What is the title of the concurring resolution? Just curious. I know, I just want to make sure if there's a title be read, it's not concurring resolution.
That's all I've got.
Alrighty, under excuse me, number 63 under highways and waterways. This is our concurring resolution. Is there a motion to approve there? Mr. Featherling, a second. It's basically Mr. Ashcraft.
Polk. Okay.
Get you next time, Dr. Pope.
Okay.
I think it's the delay between the room and there, or else you'd always be first, I think. So it's basically the highway resolution. I'm trying to figure out what part of that title could be read in. Just concurring resolution. Do you find that acceptable?
That works for me.
Okay. Alrighty. Without any questions, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
Aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker. Mr. Fairfield. Mr. Carrico. Mr. Eckhoff. Mr. Featherling. Mr. Donnell. Mr. Miller. Mr. Long. Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hodder. Mr. Smith. Mr. Hildebrand. Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade. Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday. Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy. Mr. Scanlon. Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. Alrighty, moving on. And from finance, if we can get the title of this one on the record, please.
Amendments to the annual budget and appropriation ordinance for Kankakee County, Illinois, 2021-2022 fiscal year.
Make sure. Alrighty, is there a motion to approve? Mr. Eckhoff out of finance, second. Mr.
Polk.
Go with Mr. Dunhill over here to the left. Alrighty, we've got the title read in the record. Is there any questions about this? We went through it in detail during finance. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
Aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker. Mr. Fairfield. Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff. Mr. Featherling. Mr. Donnell. Mr. Miller. Mr. Long. Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hodder. Mr. Smith. Mr. Hildebrand. Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade. Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday. Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy. Mr. Scanlon. Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. Moving on to the ARPA funding requests. This is the second consent in the packet. Is there any of those that you would want to pull out and consider separately? Give you a second to look through them. 65 through 84, excuse me. Oh, not through 84, excuse me, through 74, I apologize. The social service grants were taken separately. Because we have to talk about them in the meeting, yeah.
How long are we gonna be here?
Well, now another 15 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Let me just say for the record, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledge that the evaluation team, and I referenced those individuals on that team, took copious notes, amended, vetted, articulated, deleted, was it the 14 or 15 proposals that were submitted to the county? As Board Member Andrade indicated, that if indeed you've read your packets, that information is there for you to discern fact from fiction, mission of those particular individuals and agencies who requested ARPA funds. Anyway,
So
That's me.
would you want to make the motion when it is made to include 84?
Yes.
Okay. We will go through 84. Is there any that you would want to hear separately?
Yes.
Any board member can pull off anything on a consent agenda. Yes, sir.
I need to go 76, 77, 78, and 79, and 82. I just want the record to reflect that I would have to abstain upon.
you don't get any direct benefit, Snipes.
Whether I do or not, because I'm the president of the organization, I have to basically respectively just state it for the record that I am.
We did discuss this situation with the state's attorney's office, and that is appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not really sure. No, the voucher program. Yes, that is KCCSI proper.
Right.
Okay, yeah. All right, any others that you want to separately? Motion to combine and approve on the consent. Mr. Eckhoff, second. Ms. Turner. We should go through the list, please. Except those that are pulled off.
Authorizing expenditure from fiscal year 2022 Fund 95 for the following: Hedge Apple Arts, Mantino and Bourbonnais Drainage District Union Number 6, Moments Park District, amending Resolution 2022-11-09-227 for Limestone Library to $15,432.03, amending Resolution 2023-01-10-20 for Limestone Fire Protection District to $17,211.96. Authorizing expenditure from fiscal year 2022 Fund 98 America Rescue Lost Fund revenue for the following: Kankakee County Sheriff's Department cooling system replacement, for the Kankakee County Sheriff's Department for courthouse camera upgrade, for the Kankakee County Courts Tyler Technologies case management system, for the Kankakee County new satellite court study, and to Kankakee County Government Future Plan Concept. For ARPA social service grants, authorizing expenditure from fiscal year 2022 Fund 95 for A More Excellent Way youth supports, Merchant Street Art Gallery workforce training, KCC Foundation Diesel Mechanic Program job skills training, KCCSI Housing Voucher Program, Kankakee County CEO youth supports, and St. John Paul II Food Bank.
All righty. Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. Consent. We can't really comment. They'd be out of order. We could pull one off if you want to. Okay. With that, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
Aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker. Mr. Fairfield. Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling. Mr. Donnell. Mr. Miller. Mr. Long. Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Smith. Mr. Hildebrand. Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon. Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to 76, get the title, and then we'll get the motion in a second on that.
Authorizing expenditure from fiscal year 2022 Fund 95 America Rescue Plan Fund to NAACP Youth Development Program Youth Supports.
Is there a motion on that? Mr. Hunter, second. Ms. Foster, your question, sir?
Okay. Yeah, just a point of clarification with the youth supports. I kind of somewhat read into detail. Is this something that the NAACP is heading, or is this an organization through the NAACP that's heading this particular program?
The NAACP is the umbrella organization, and there are other entities subordinate to that particular funding.
Okay, so the organizations are members of the NAACP?
Mr. Snipes, yes, let me just be very quick. You may recall when we did the, was it 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, Chairman? We met out to Roma Park at Ryan Spear. The underserved community members were there, Dr. Crawford, Tyler Tall, NAACP, Hippocrates, Ricon, Dwayne Dean, etc. I talked to the chairman about making sure that when the ARPA funds, before they even released, we wanted to make sure that people look like me, the underserved community, receive funds. And we wouldn't be waiting till after the allocation of funds were approved and disseminated, and people look like me got crumbs. the chairman and those individuals and those organizations which I just articulated were at the table. They were at the table and not looking outside, or not being outside and looking on the inside in terms of what's going on. This is a pragmatic approach to the ARPA funds in terms of the NAACP being the umbrella, the subordinate organizations, Morning Star Baptist Church, which is the largest African-American church in the county, New Vision, which has a food pantry, Eastside Junior Football, who serves in excess of 300 youth throughout the area. Am I missing anybody?
So we're only dealing with the youth at this particular point, Mr. Hunter. Now, what
I'm just being macro if you had any other
I'm sorry,
questions,
this is
sir.
not a debate, Mr. Snipes.
right? Well, it's not the debate. I'm just telling that only
You're out of order, sir.
number 76.
Mr. Eckhoff, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me, I wasn't done, Mr. Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to go ahead and thank the evaluation team. That was my comment beforehand. Mr. Hunter, Ms. Turner, Weber, Foster, and yourself, Mr. Chairman. I can only imagine that Friday was a long day, but you guys went ahead and helped out finance quite a bit. And like Mr. Hunter said, there was some red ink on the paper saying, no, we don't agree with this, and we will go ahead and prove this. So I wanted to thank that committee.
Thank you. Anybody else first time? Alrighty, second time?
Well, basically, it was my first time. You were, Mr.
your
Hunter
second
just
time,
cuts
sir.
he cut into my conversation, so I was not done.
Oh, you
The
were
reason
done.
I asked the particular question is to make sure that under the youth support, there is an umbrella. However, we do know that there's Hispanic soccer team. So if this is a youth support, I wanted to make sure that whoever's controlling the umbrella is making sure that all of the community is going to be serviced, not just people that look like me, but people that might differ from me, but they're doing something as far as youth supports that keeps them off the streets and entertained. So as a result, I'm just asking, and in this case, he basically stated that the NAACP will be the umbrella of that particular program to make sure that everybody in our county basically benefits from these particular funds, and just not people that maybe look just like me, but other individuals that are in the population. So that's it for number 76. So we can move on to number 77 unless.
We have a motion and a second. Without any other questions, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen. Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
Aye on that.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield.
Aye.
Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand.
Aye.
Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade. Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday. Ms. Ripmanick-Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon.
Aye.
Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Thank you. As far as 77 goes, before it's read in the record, we noticed that we left New Visions off the title to the resolution, but that is in the body, so we just have to make sure that we're going to add that to the title. So is there a motion to approve that one?
I'll do that. Your vision is 51.
You're making the motion?
Yes, sir.
Is there a second? Let's go with Mr. Fairfield.
A point of order, are we having 77 and 78 collectively together, or are we taking those individually? 77 would be the next.
I don't care. We can combine them. I don't have a problem.
I asked for them to be separate.
He's asking if 77, 78. I was alerted that before when we walked in. That, I'm sorry?
New Vision is in both. One is for the funding and the other one's for the food grant.
One is for the funding. Oh, the rental assistance. It's two separate issues. Yep.
Right.
I couldn't remember who was doing the rental assistance, which entity was doing. KCCSI was doing that. Okay. So yeah, we're just doing 77.
Okay.
So is there a motion? We had motion and second on that. All right. Your question, sir?
So the question is
Let me do that in just a second.
because it's my question, was it New Vision, but it's just only Morning Star that's handling the rental assistance program?
Mr. Chair, if I
Pose this question to you.
Well, let me. I got to answer his.
I gotta say this, Mr. Chairman.
No, but Mr. Hunter, no, you don't.
I will come to you right now, but he asked a question of the board, so I have to be able to answer that question real quick. All right, I got to flip through here. There's a lot of pages at the back. Okay.
Sixth whereas. The sixth whereas.
Yes, it was split at the sixth whereas Morning Star Baptist Church 7,500, New Vision 7,500.
Okay, so New Vision is not mentioned here in the riddle program, but both of them will be working that together under the NAACP.
You'll have to ask them that.
Well,
It's really not our concern.
well, it would have to be our concern because it's up under the umbrella, it says NAACP. So what we're saying is that both of these will be up under, the funding goes to the NAACP and be distributed directly to them, or is it being distributed directly to them?
However they would prefer that to happen, sir.
The NAACP.
No, the entities that are part of their continuum of service. See, they got this word called partnership where people get together to do something instead of throwing sticks and spokes all the
We're
time.
not
They
doing
actually
that.
are partnering to do something.
You have the
Imagine that.
NAACP, and then you have the entities that's up under. So I understand that you all stating that someone's going to be accountable with the paperwork and the whole 9 yards. So we want to make sure if you're giving to the entities, because you have NAACP preface as the controlling agent, who are we making sure that we're getting the reporting from, the NAACP or the respective agencies? Because you have the NAACP on all four.
Any other questions? Do you have anything, Mr. Hunter? Yep, me too. It's not worth it. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
I'm going to say aye, and I'm just going to caveat it with the fact that I need
Mrs.
to
Weber.
make sure.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield. Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff. Mr. Featherling.
Yeah.
Mr. Donnell. Mr. Miller. Mr. Long. Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye with reservations.
Mr. Hunter. Mr. Smith. Mr. Hildebrand. Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade. Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday. Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy. Mr. Scanlon. Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. If we can get the title of 78 read in the record, please.
Authorizing expenditure from fiscal year 2022 Fund 95 American Rescue Plan Fund to NAACP New Vision Food Pantry.
Is there a motion to approve there? Mr. Long, Mr. Donnell with a second. Any questions there? Well,
Yeah.
obviously there are, so.
I have the one. So,
I just leave it on, so.
okay, well, the issue again here is we're giving $51,000, and I have no problem with New Vision Food Pantry. What raises my eyebrow is that St. John Paul come as St. John Paul, and we're authorizing it. Why didn't these individual entities just come as their individualized entity for these particular findings? Why did we have to go through the saying it's the NAACP? The only church that I know of, and I would have to check with Mr. Pace and the rest, that is a NAACP member was Mr. Barnes in Pembroke. So my eyebrows raised when the NAACP is there, and yet, and Mr. Hunter said that all of my members of the NAACP, why couldn't these individuals apply for it separately? So can someone answer that question? Why do they have to go through someone versus just applying themselves?
Anybody a mind reader? Sorry.
I would just like to say, why does that matter?
Duh.
It matters because of the reporting. If you're dealing with ARPA funds and you're dealing with the federal findings, I believe that when we had a discussion, we stated that someone has to report, and they're going to be asking for the detailed accountability of what they've done with the ARPA funds. who are we talking to? The NAACP, and then New Vision's going to the NAACP, or is it you saying the funds going directly to New Vision? So why is it, that's like St. Paul's here, why is it, it doesn't say NAACP in St. Paul, it says that. So St. Paul would be accountable as far as the findings and reporting back to the board or to the agency as to how the funds were expended. With NAACP and then another entity, that means who do we hold as far as accountability? So does the individual report to the NAACP and the NAACP reports to the board and the funding source so we can hold the accountability, or is it just New Vision? I don't have a problem with the spending of the funds. I have a problem with the accountability of these particular funds. So I need to find out who's going to be accountable, who will they be responding to when we ask the questions, the NAACP or New Vision?
Mr. Chairman, if I might respond to that.
Can I let Ms. Turner? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Every single one of these was brought in for an interview, and they were interviewed together. They came in as partners, so therefore I feel like they talk with one another and understand when we explain to them that they are responsible for providing the dollars, the budgets, they're responsible for the reporting, that they are going to work together to bring those numbers back to the board.
Additionally, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Hunter.
Let me just say, I think initially I brought up an umbrella. Didn't I say umbrella? Mm-hmm. Did I not articulate those entities that fall under the NAACP? Eastside Junior Football, New Vision, etc. The other organizations as well too. When they came here and we vetted them, we had Mr. Theodis Pace, who was the president of the NAACP. You had Dr. Crawford, who is the pastor of Morning Star Baptist Church. You had Paulette Crank, who is a person who is going to be monitoring and dealing with the finances, the money. We had no concerns. Also in New Vision, we had no problems. What I'm concerned about, and let me just say this, that these particular organizations here are the underserved communities who were represented 3 years ago out of Ryan's Pier. What I do have problems with is that the underserved are being thoroughly scrutinized by Mr. Snipes. What I'm saying to you is that there's an umbrella with those entities underneath there, and there are copious kind of notes that were taken regarding the oversight.
Yeah, and I do want to, and before we get to Mr. Eckhoff, I'd like to remind the board, I believe those on the board at the time, it was unanimous. We hired Rincon to be our grant manager because we didn't want to hire someone that was only going to work here a short amount of time because you couldn't find people anyway. Why beef up our finance department to have that? We decided to use Rincon to get all the data for us and bring it back. They had to be bonded just in case somebody in the continuum misspent the money. And whenever those folks come and get the money, or we mail it to them, they have to have signed an agreement first agreeing to this whole process and that there is a clawback. And they will be prosecuted for using the funds or misspending the funds. They have to document everything because we have to document everything. We actually run a professional organization here, contrary to what somebody might say. And we're fair to everybody. We'll pull people in the room and we talk to them. So I just want to mention that up front. And Mr. Snipes, you voted for that, and I don't know why you don't remember it, because you're just asking a question about something you voted on, much like the maps, much like all the other nonsense you throw out here. So Mr. Eckhoff, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to go ahead and point out that finance was February 22nd. Today's March 14th, and your questions could have been answered by the NAACP if you picked up the phone and asked them that, compared to coming to this board and asking these questions and actually working with the NAACP on your questions. Thank you.
Any other questions? First time? Yes, Ms. Andrade. 13. There you go.
So could
you pull the microphone up? I'm sorry.
Being a new member and how this is on here, if I wanted to have more information about the finance being spent on the grants, I would contact, well, of course, you, but the people who will be returning the information to us will be the NAACP.
Yes, they are the audited entity,
So-
unless we do the agreement after this directly with any of the people. 'Cause
So Morningstar and all of them, they have nothing to do. They're for
they
them.
would be audited.
Yeah, it's for them, but they return everything to this.
Rincon.
Yeah,
Rincon.
and then basically that's how we get the proof of how money is spent.
It's completely audited. Before they pick up the check, they have to agree to that.
Okay.
And if they will agree that if the money is misspent or the manner is such that they didn't indicate on the forms, it also has to be paid back.
And
Just like we have to pay it back to the feds.
yeah,
Makes sense? Okay.
yeah. So
talked about
basically, the NAACP is just applying for it with them because, like he said, it's an umbrella. But we basically will.
Yeah, we actually asked the public to try to build partnerships because we felt as a board that so many times a lot of providers are operating in their own silo and they forget that where they end, somebody else could begin.
Yeah.
And so this process we went through on the social service program was very intentional, and we talked about it ad nauseum in meetings. And we talked about this over and over again. We have proposals that we're not accepting parts of it because they're trying to recreate something else that they should have a partner for. So we were very purposeful on not wasting money in this community.
So they're just representing them, basically.
Yes, exactly. They
That's all they're
came
doing.
in as an umbrella under NAACP to make sure that people of color were served properly with these funds, and to make sure that the kids mainly is what I think this proposal was targeted at. The ask was there, and so they put together their team, and it was a good proposal, as you see in the documentation, as the video, to Mr. Eckhoff's point, shows. And I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. Any others first time? Yeah, it's only Kankakee County residents. That's another thing we put in there. Because some of these people or organizations reach into other counties. We're not going to support that. They could donate as well. Any other first times?
Thank you.
All right, second time, Mr. Snipes, 10:02.
Okay, so that we don't have a lot of little snippets unless you want me to snipe back at you. The ability of respect will be garnered as far as that's concerned. When I ask a question, I ask a question
Get what
for a
you give,
reason.
sir. You get
when
what
I
you
deal
give.
with, excuse me, sir, I'm talking. When I deal with accountability, I'm not talking about Recon, the administrative part, I'm talking about the recipients. And so when I'm looking at why other individuals are bridging, I understand you stating that you need to have partnerships, but they could have partnered. Morningstar, New Vision, ESAC could have partnered themselves, but they all went up under the NAACP. I think Mr. Hunter asked the question. I say, who will be the accountability person? He said that Paulette Crank will be. So asking intelligent questions so that it will protect at least the integrity of this particular process should not be ever challenged, but basically welcome. All I need to know is the additional security. So if someone asks me when I voted on something, who do you talk to when this is, when we want to check accountability, you shuck your chain and say, it's just no nonsense. But to us, we have to make sense out of it. So in this particular case, you're stating that Paulette Crank will be the individual.
I'm not stating that whatsoever.
I said Mr. Hunter. So he stated that Paulette Crank was the person that will make sure that these individuals will do what they have to do.
No,
So
actually, Rincon is who you authorized to hire to do that.
that's
sir.
the administrative part. We're saying that NAACP is part of it. So they're saying they're partnership. So if they're going to check, I just need to know who's checking who. I'm not saying that they're going to spin it outside that. I just want to know if I ask for a report, who do we talk to? Everybody else is coming on their own independent name. NAACP is the umbrella for all of these. So, unfortunately, I had questions, and I just need them answered.
All right. Is there any other comments, or are we ready for roll call?
Roll call.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
Aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield.
Aye.
Mr. Kirko.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand.
Aye.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Ripmanick-Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon.
Aye.
Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Motion carries. 79, if we can get that read in the record.
Authorizing expenditure from fiscal year 2023, Fund 95, America Rescue Plan Fund to NAACP, Kankakee East Side Football.
All right, Mr. Snipes.
Okay, I need to,
Excuse me, pardon me. Motion, Mr. Ackoff to approve, second. We'll go with Mr. Featherling. Thank you. Sorry about that. I had to get that on the floor.
okay, now with the East Side football, I believe I've seen this, I know the East Side football. Can you explain to me why we are expending money to a Pacific? It says that youth support, why didn't it fall up under youth support? I'm looking at the Kankakee East Side football. I have a question. I mean, since its inception, I have not seen one scholarship. And number two, I had a grandson that played in here. They have to pay $150, and we're dealing with a poor neighborhood. And the girls for cheerleading have to pay $325. So is this going to offset the cost to these young people, as far as that's concerned, or are they going to still pay that enormous cost in addition to the fine? So how's this fine going to help the youth or the participants of the East Side football? Is it these high fees that they have to pay in order to participate, so that it can be a help to the parents?
Any other questions?
Call for a vote.
Okay, thank you. Roll call vote, please.
That was a question. How come the answer wasn't provided?
Sir, they're not here. Only they can answer your question, sir.
Well, then we can table it till they get here.
No. Oh, is that a motion to table?
Oh, is that a motion?
What? I said we can make a motion.
Is there a second to the motion to table then? Is that a motion to table? We'll go through this and you'll
I'll do a motion to table since you say they need to be here.
Is there a second to Mr. Snipes' motion to table the East Side football funding? It fails by no motion for a second. Now we go back to the original motion. Call the question. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen.
Aye.
Mrs. Polk.
Aye.
Mr. Snipes.
No.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker.
Aye.
Mr. Fairfield. Mr. Carrico. Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell. Mr. Miller. Mr. Long. Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter. Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand. Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft. Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon. Ms. Turner. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, one more. 82, if we get that read in the record, please.
Already approved all of those.
We approved 82?
82, 83.
I thought that was one that was set. I had circled it. Okay.
Because
All right.
had to abstain.
All right, I wish we could do this more. We have some openings to announce, if we could, sir.
One opening on the McGillivray Special Drainage District, one opening on the Farmland Assessment Review Committee, one opening on the Kankakee Valley Airport Authority, one opening on the Kankakee River Conservancy District, 5 openings on the Kankakee County Ethics Commission, 6 openings on the Kankakee County Board of Examiners and Appeals.
Thank you. You know, let's do, if it's okay, we do old business. Is there a motion to do that first? Mr. Long, Mr. Scanlon, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Alrighty, if we get the title of that read in the record, then we'll get a motion.
Amending Resolution 2021-11-9-423 for Circuit Clerk digitization of files to NTE, $477,345.
Is there a motion there? Mr. Long, second. Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy, any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Hess.
Aye.
Mr. Tholen. Mrs. Polk. Mr. Snipes.
Aye.
Mrs. Weber.
Aye.
Mrs. Parker left. Mr. Fairfield.
Aye.
Mr. Carrico.
Aye.
Mr. Eckhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling.
Aye.
Mr. Donnell.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra.
Aye.
Mr. Hunter. Mr. Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Hildebrand.
Aye.
Ms. Foster. Ms. Andrade.
Aye.
Mr. Ashcraft.
Aye.
Ms. Monday.
Aye.
Ms. Rittmanick-Emmy.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Any new business before the board? Anyone? Any more old business, other business? All the above? I'll go with Mr. Carrico first.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to announce that again. I think we did the other day on the other meeting about this for the full board. Maybe that will help some of the county board members here to spread the word a little bit within their own district residents that the Kankakee County Health Department will be hosting an adolescent wellness visit clinic that will be on Saturday, April 15th for ages 11 and 21, and that you can have your physical done and a few other things. It's by appointment only, so anybody interested will have to call the health department and set up an appointment. So Saturday, April 15th, it'll be the Adolescent Wellness Visit Clinic. Please help spread the word. Thank you so much.
All right, any other? Mr. Snipes?
Yes, I read in our comments where Jim is in Springfield, and he'll be talking to us on in April with some questions. However, before that meeting, I need to I have a request, and then I would ask that he tender a copy to his office to all of the county board members electronically the AG's opinion, the June 15, 21 opinion, to all of the county board members before we have that meeting in April. Also, I'm going to ask that the meeting be a special meeting because it's going to probably take some time to have the discussion, but you might decide that the April 15th might be fine, but I would that we have a special meeting.
If you can find 15 people to sign that petition that are board members here to have a special meeting, that's what the county code calls for, and you should know that being here.
Well, it said a third, it didn't say 15, so we can find 10 or 11, but I'm just...
I highly doubt it.
I'm sure that would be the case. That's probably why, but at least it's on record that I did call for it, so I don't want to hear nothing about you got 5 minutes, which is totally, since we're going to follow county rules. First time you speak, there is no time. The second time you speak, there is, and that's in the county. That's in the county rules.
Mr.
So,
Feathering?
Motion to adjourn, sir.
Is there a second to motion to adjourn? We'll go with pretty much everyone. All those in favor say aye.
if
Those
I'm
opposed,
not,
same sign.
if the board's going to
Because motion
continue
to
this.
adjourn